Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Erskine the Prophet here to do another video. This video was going to be a UFC 261 review. Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. I haven't done a UFC video in a while, but this event was just so special. I just had to do a video for it. I ain't gonna lie, my UFC videos seem to attract the wrong type of viewers for some reason. That's why I haven't been doing them. But like I said, this event just had so much going on that I just had to make a video. Now I'm not gonna cover the undercard. I'm just gonna cover the main card for this video, just because so much happened on the main card. I got plenty to talk about. So let's get to it. The first fight was Jimmy Croot versus Anthony Smith. It ended up as a doctor stoppage at the end of round one. The fight was pretty good. I thought Smith looked real good with his jab. He was popping Croot with that jab. And honestly, I thought Smith was kind of the winner in the fight. As a result of it, Croot was catching Anthony Smith with some good leg kicks. But that jab just was serious that Smith was throwing. But what's crazy is he ended up kicking him in the thigh. And somehow he must have hit some kind of nerve in Croot's leg. And Croot's leg just gave out. It looked like he was having problems with his foot. Like he couldn't even stand on his foot. You know what I'm saying? But what's crazy is when Smith hurt Croot's leg, that's when Croot started taking Smith down repeatedly, like easily. So I'm like, damn, if why didn't he try to take him down when he had both his legs? I'm like, it might have been a totally different fight if Croot would have went for takedowns. Maybe he couldn't because Smith was popping him with that jab. But I'm going to say this. You know, I'm happy that Anthony Smith got the win. I love Anthony Smith. But I really think they should run this fight back because that finish was kind of flukish. So I think they both should rematch each other. And I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. I don't know who I would put my money on for the next fight. Like I said, Croot looked like he got some serious takedowns. He was taking Smith down at will as soon as his leg got hurt. And Smith couldn't even stop the takedowns, you know, for one-legged Jimmy Croot. So I'm curious to see what will happen, you know, with Croot on two good legs, you know, how he would be able to do with the takedowns. Like I say, he might not still be able to get him because Smith's jab was serious. And if he can keep him off of him with that jab, you know, who knows how the rematch would go. But I definitely think there should be a rematch for that fight. Moving on, you know, to some more craziness, you know, Uriah Hall versus Chris Weidman. This fight stopped 17 seconds into the first round when Chris Weidman went for a leg kick on Uriah Hall, and Uriah Hall checked it, and Chris Weidman's leg snapped in half. What's so ironic about this is that is the exact same thing that happened to Anderson Silva when Anderson Silva fought Chris Weidman. You know, two of the greatest middleweight champions ever. Anderson Silva is definitely the greatest ever. But let's not forget when Chris Weidman, after he beat Anderson Silva, Chris Weidman beat quite a few of the top contenders. He was a good middleweight champion. Then he ran into Luke Rockhold, and everything went downhill after that. But Chris Weidman was definitely a good champion at the time. He was a beast. He was knocking people out and taking them down at will. You know, like I said, I don't know what happened to him, but his leg, I mean, I couldn't even, man, it was so bad. It literally snapped in half the way you saw the bottom half of his foot moving around in the skin. You know, that's how horrible it was. I don't think Chris Weidman is going to come back from that. To be honest, he's not that good anymore anyway. So I think it might just be time for him to call it a career. I can't really see him coming back better from that injury. Anderson Silva definitely didn't come back better from that injury. You know, so I don't know. I think Weidman, it's about time to hang it up for him. I'm really sorry that injury happened to him. That I would hate to see that happen to any UFC fighter. But it's just ironic, man. It's just so ironic that the same thing that happened to him, you know, it's only happened like 3 times. And I remember another guy happened too. It was like a real tall, skinny guy who leg kicked somebody and his leg broke. And but yeah, that's a horrific injury to encounter in the ring. God, I don't even think I would go for leg kicks anymore after saying something like that. But in terms of Uriah Hall, I think it's time to get. I mean, I think this probably puts him on like a 4 or 5. I think it's a 5-fight win streak he's on now. So at this point, I would say give Uriah one of the real contenders in the top 10, like a Kelvin Gastelum or a Jack Hermanson, and see what he could do. I think he deserves it at this point. So, he definitely going to have to step his game up a little bit, though, because, some killers in the middleweight division. Unlike Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman, the two last guys he's fought, So, but I say give him a real contender and let's see what happens. The next fight is Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. Valentina Shevchenko won 219 round 2. She caught on a crucifix and pretty much pounded her out. Referee stopped it. Valentina Shevchenko, as I've said in previous videos, is my woman's GOAT. I think Valentina Shevchenko is the best female mixed martial artist on the planet. No disrespect to Amanda Nunes, because I love Amanda Nunes as well. But I just don't think Amanda Nunes has fought the level of competition that Valentina has had to fight. I mean, Jessica Andrade is a fucking beast, a monster. The fact that she got handled so easily is nothing against her. It just shows how good Valentina is. Valentina is no joke. And to be honest, I don't even know who Valentina has left to fight. You know what I'm saying? She has beaten every single person there is in that division, and Jessica Andrade, who just moved up to the division. So I do have a fight I'm thinking about for her, but I'm gonna talk about it towards the end of the video. It's nothing more I could say. I love Valentina. She's just so awesome. Not only is she one of the best women's mixed martial artists, she's just one of the best mixed martial artists, period. Honestly, if I had a top 10 list of MMA fighters, she would probably be on it. But like I said, nothing to take away from Amanda Nunes, who is also a beast. Everybody keeps calling for a rematch for them. And to me, it's stupid. Why would they fight for a third time when Amanda Nunes has already beaten Valentina twice? The fact is, Amanda Nunes is just too big for Valentina Shevchenko. She's too big. She fights 2 weight classes above Valentina Shevchenko. That's 145 compared to 125. That's like asking Peter Yan to fight Khabib. It's the same size difference. So to me, it makes no sense to keep asking for that fight. But I will tell you the fight that I do think might make sense and might be a good fight for her and would definitely get some talk going. But like I said, I'll talk about that a little later. I'm thinking, man, I wouldn't mind seeing Jessica Andrade fight somebody like Michelle Waters. And I think she might should go back down to, at 115. She's kind of small. I mean, she's big. She has her arms are freaking huge. But she's short. I think she would just probably do a little more damage at 115. Not to say that she can't get some more quality wins at 125. She probably could. But I don't know. Considering how, I'm going to tell you, she's a tough opponent for Rose Namajunas, who I'm going to talk about soon. So I maybe they could even get one more fight since they both have 1-1 now. And I'm not going to lie, Jessica Andrade's win over Rose was much more impressive than Rose's win over her. So she probably could go down and get one more. They probably could do a trilogy, depending on who Rose fights next. Rose has a few opponents. She might end up. In fact, let me get to the fight next. I think, like I said, Jessica Andrade should go back down to 115 and either challenge Michelle Waterson, or maybe she can get a trilogy with if she wins another fight, she probably could definitely get a trilogy with Rose Namajunas. Next fight, Rose Namajunas versus Zhang, knockout, 118 round 1. She caught her with a head kick and then finished off with some ground and pound. Man, once again, another woman who you just have to love. I love Thug Rose. I'm going to tell you, man, it's funny. The women's representation in the sport now is so good that it's almost hard. A lot of the times we want to put the men over top of the women. But to be honest, Amanda Nunes, Valentina Shevchenko, Thug Rose, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, Zhang, these females are so good that we can't even really set them aside from the men no more. It's if we talk about the best mixed martial artists, we have to start including them in the conversation of, of all mixed martial artists, not just male and female. Rose Namajunas, I don't know if she's gonna end up giving Zhang a rematch. Because of the way the fight ended, it's hard to say. Zhang might get an immediate rematch. She may not. Like I said, her and Jessica Andrade could do a trilogy, possibly. But yeah, because she's beaten Joanna twice. She's beaten, yeah. I mean, in terms of the top, yeah. Now, I am going to talk about a fight that I would love to see. Instead of people always talking about, Valentina Shevchenko versus Amanda Nunes, how about Thug Rose Namajunas versus Valentina Shevchenko? I saw them two hugging in the back after the fights, and they're like the exact same. Rose is just as big as Valentina almost. They look the same size. So if you ask me, that might be the super fight to make. I mean, everybody loves Valentina. Everybody loves Rose. That would be an awesome fight between two of the most technical strikers in the UFC, not just the women's division, but the UFC. I would love to see that fight much more than I would like to see Valentina fight Amanda Nunes and lose for the third time. And Amanda's just too big. You ever hear the saying, a good big man will always beat a good little man? Well, that applies to women too. And they're both just too. Now, if Amanda Nunes was the same size as Valentina, I would give the edge to Valentina. But because she's so much bigger, it's just no way for Valentina to win. The only way Valentina could win probably is if Amanda Nunes cut down to 125 and fought her at 125. But I just don't see Valentina being able to beat her at 135 or 145. The fights were close, but Amanda's just too big. So the super fight that I would love to see is Valentina Shevchenko versus Rose Namajunas. That's the fight to make. And honestly, they both are because honestly, like I said, Valentina has pretty much nobody to fight. And Rose has maybe one or two fights, maybe one or two. And then I could definitely see them making that fight. And I hope somebody watching this video, will get the word out, man, because that's the fight to make. That would be such an awesome fight. Rose against Valentina. Hell of a fight. I would love to see that. And honestly, at 125. I think Rose is big enough to go to 125 and fight her, to be honest. Because Rose is deceptively big. She doesn't really look that big, but she seems kind of big for the weight class. So, hopefully they can make that happen. Otherwise, I don't know what Valentina's going to do, to be honest. Last, for the main event, we got Cameron Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. That fight was stopped in the second round. I don't have the time here for some reason, but it was stopped in the second round with a knockout punch from Cameron Usman. Jorge Masvidal is my favorite fighter, as I've said in the past, but I can't take anything away from Cameron Usman, who's another fighter that I like a lot and have a tremendous amount of respect for. In fact, in my opinion, right now, Cameron Usman is the best pound-for-pound guy in the game, in my opinion, right now. Even if John Jones was still around, Cameron Usman would be the best pound-for-pound. Now, with Khabib, I don't know. It's tough between those two because they both were so successful and so dominant. But definitely, if one of those two would be the pound for pound. And since Khabib's gone, it is Cameron Usman. To be honest, Jorge Masvidal didn't look like he had anything for Cameron in this fight. I'm gonna be completely honest. He said he came to wrestle, but Cameron took him down in the first round pretty easily and pounded him on the ground for a little while. Masvidal got back up, but he always gets back up. So why he would train wrestling when he already has superior takedown defense doesn't make sense. His striking didn't look good at all in this fight, at all. And like I said, Cameron knocked him out, knocked him cold with one punch. One punched him into oblivion. I couldn't believe it. Jorge Masvidal has never been stopped in the UFC. He has losses, but he's never been stopped, never been knocked out or submitted. So that just goes to show how good Cameron Usman is. They pretty much called Cameron Usman's next fight is going to be Colby Covington. So that fight's pretty much already set. But after Colby, and I do believe Cameron was going to beat Colby again, I just believe Cameron's on a different level right now. I don't think nobody in the division can beat him. After that, I don't know who he's gonna fight. There's literally no, and he said he wouldn't fight Israel Adesanya. So I don't know who he's gonna fight. There's literally no, he's cleaned the division out so thoroughly. I don't know. Maybe Leon Edwards at some point, probably. I'm guessing if he gets past Nate Diaz, he might get a shot, in the future. But to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing Jorge Masvidal fight Leon Edwards. I wouldn't mind seeing him fight Leon Edwards or Colby Covington, but Colby's already booked, so that's going to leave. If Leon Edwards, even if he don't get past Nate Diaz, I think these two still need to fight. It's been a long time coming. Ever since Jorge Masvidal gave him the 3-piece and the soda at the interview, they haven't fought. I think this fight needs to be made, and especially with Masvidal coming off of this bad loss, I think this would be a good fight to get him back in the game, if he can get past Leon Edwards. To be honest, if you ask me, Jorge Masvidal needs to go to the lightweight division. And the reason why I say this is because he's just not big enough, I don't believe, to deal with the big, strong wrestlers at the top of the division. He's just not big enough. You know what I'm saying? And unless he really starts using his boxing like he should have used against Uzman, I just don't see, I see all them guys taking him down and giving him headaches all over the place. So I don't know, but, we have to wait and see. But I definitely think the best fight for him would be Leon Edwards next. So, this was a hell of a night. A lot of weird, crazy stuff. The thing with Chris Weidman's leg. The thing with Jimmy Croot's leg. To Rose Namajunas regaining the 115-pound title from Zhang in such a spectacular fashion. To, how could I skip my girl Valentina? First, before that even happened, Valentina stopping Jessica Andrade in the second round, for second round TKO. Valentina is just a beast. And in my opinion right now, Valentina is the women's MMA GOAT. I have to put her above Amanda Nunes for competition faced. Like I said, she just manhandled a monster like Jessica Andrade. Who was Amanda Nunes even faced on that level, to be honest? Nobody. Like I said, Rose Namajunas winning the title back for the second time. And Cameron Usman destroying Jorge Masvidal in the second round with a one-punch KO. This was just a very, very memorable night for UFC fans and one of the best UFCs I've seen in a long time. I haven't been this excited after watching the UFC card in a long time. This was a hell of a card, an amazing card, and hopefully the next ones are just as good. I would love to get your opinions. Please like the video. Y'all know I love for y'all to like the videos. Please, tell me what you thought about the card, if you agree or disagree with anything I've said. And please subscribe. I'm always looking for new subscribers to the video. Thank you for watching the video, y'all. I love y'all. Everybody stay safe, stay strong, stay healthy. Peace.